What's up, everyone? So today we're going to be doing Jupiter in the 7th house. And what happens when Jupiter is in your 7th house? What is 7th house? 7th house is a house of legal agreements, legal bindings. It's a house of marriage that represents your spouse because your spouse is legally binded to you. It's known as a courthouse. Like everything that takes place in the courthouse is seen from the 7th house. 7th house is a house of other people because one represents you, the individual. Directly opposite to that represents other people, just pretty much the masses. Like as I told you before, the fame of a person is seen from the 5th, 7th, and 10th house because 7th and 10th house represents outside other people. So this becomes a house of other people. So you bring in Jupiter here, which is knowledge, belief, philosophy, optimism, expansion of wealth, expansion of kids. It's a spouse for a woman. So what does it mean when he's in this house? Well, it simply, first of all, shows that for a female especially, her spouse is going to be well-rounded individual. He's going to be well-educated. He's going to be religious. At the same time, he's going to be spiritual. He's going to be knowledgeable about the world. He will be a very balanced person because 7th house is literally the original house of Libra, which represents balancing of things, balancing of energy. So you'll have a very balanced spouse. Like he won't be too spiritual or too religious. He won't be, too optimistic, or he won't be involved in work too much. He will be just balanced. You'll be like, wow, he's perfect for me. So women who have this in their chart literally should feel blessed because they will have a very good spouse. Now, unless it's debilitated, your spouse will look good in the front, but as soon as you marry him, you'll be like, what the hell did I just marry? Okay, so that's what's going to happen with a debilitated Jupiter. So don't think you're spared. Okay, when a man has this, his wife is going to be very religious and cultured, and same thing. She's going to be very educated, balanced person. She's going to be a guidance to you. She will be a source of knowledge to you, same as for women too. It's the same thing. However, for especially women, this is a strong indication of arranged marriage, meaning that the union is set by certain laws, rules, and regulation. It's just not about the love anymore. So you can see a lot of people getting arranged marriage with this. Now, in the Western world, you guys must be thinking that, arranged marriage, that's so 19th or 18th century. But if you really look at it, with this house placement, women who make decisions on marriage with these people, they don't just base their decisions on love. Like, I love him so much. No, these women kind of make sure that, can you support me? What is your educational level? How knowledgeable are you? Are you spiritual? Do you believe in the same religious faith as I do? Are you a Catholic or are you a Presbyterian Christian? And that becomes the arranged part of that marriage. Like, you really do not just marry for the love. You look up for everything else. Can you provide for my kids? Can you have kids with me? And a guy too will be having an arranged marriage or a setting of a marriage just based on these facts. Like when he gets married, and then again, I'm not talking about Venus and Mars conjunction. If you have that, then it'll definitely represent that you are more for passion and love than those things. But just by looking at Jupiter, it shows the fact that you're out there to judge this person, your spouse, based on certain things, certain qualifications before you make them your permanent spouse. So from 7th house, it also represents a judge, a lawyer. Because again, remember, Saturn and Jupiter are strong indication of somebody going into the law field. And since 7th house represents the courthouse, these guys can definitely be inclined towards being into the law field. Or they can be, lawyers who, anything to do with contracts, legal contracts, making mergers and accusations of two people. This can also represent a divorce lawyer, but that's mainly from the 6th house. But here you want to bring things together, not be there to take things apart. Okay, especially when Jupiter is the 10th lord and the 7th shows a lawyer. Okay, and also it can show a preacher to the masses. Why? Because Jupiter is a preacher. He preaches. He's the guidance. He's the guru, and 7th house represents the masses. So you can be a reverend somewhere. You can be You can be like Deepak Chopra, who just deals with the masses on spiritual knowledge. So from 7th house, Jupiter aspects the 11th house of incoming gains and large network circles. And this is an excellent position to get a lot of gain, especially through spouse. Like when these people get married, their wealth shoots up. And whatever source of a career you have, the source of earning will definitely be increased due to Jupiter being here. Now, Jupiter is debilitated, then again, what's going to happen is that your spouse will take away your wealth. Your spouse will help you decrease your wealth. So these kind of things take place with when Jupiter is in a bad sign or sitting with an enemy. Okay. Then Jupiter looks at the ascendant. So your whole life becomes again about serving people based on Jupiterian qualities, meaning that you are knowledgeable, spiritual, a guidance, a philosopher, and because of these qualities, you deal with other people. You're about following the law. You follow the path of the law. You don't just go on the red light. You wait and stop at the red light. Always. I'm not sure who doesn't. Well, there are some crazies out there who do. Okay, and then from here, Jupiter looks at the 3rd house of siblings, of small groups, of again dealing with sales and media. So here Jupiter gives a good relationship with the siblings. It gives you good knowledge about sales industry, about media, about journalism. Journalism is pretty much having knowledge about things. So these people are knowledgeable about what's going on surrounding their community. Here their courage blows up. They're courageous when it comes to marriage and dealing with partnerships, dealing with other people. They're quite courageous in their efforts. But again, if Mars is debilitated or 3rd lord is debilitated, then you can experience mixed results. But usually Jupiter gives very positive optimism towards having courage, having the courage to marry a good spouse, having the courage to make that good earning, and having a good large social network. Okay, so guys, this was my analysis of Jupiter in the 7th house. If you're new to my channel, subscribe above. And if you want to know more about where your Jupiter is placed in your horoscope, check out my link below. Check out my book, The Astrology, The Speed of Light. And when you get the book, I will send you the link to look at your own charts. Make sure you please follow the directions below. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.